Welcome to Jersey's finest foodies. I'm your host, retired Detective Lieutenant John Kerner. On this week's episode, I'd like to welcome retired Parsippany Police Lieutenant Daniel McConnell. Danny dedicated 25 years of service to law enforcement. So why don't you join us while we grab a bite to eat at one of Danny's favorite restaurants, Hibernia Inn. Let's go inside and meet Danny.
I got to do a glass of wine if you don't mind.
Yeah,
just
no, of
your
course.
house Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Same?
Yeah, same,
Okay.
same. I have to have what my guest has. That's the rule.
3 shots of Jameson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Better than that years ago when there was a snowstorm.
Yeah, I remember. That was crazy. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, well, Dan, I thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate being here. I'm very excited to talk to you. Before we start, why don't you tell our audience, what did you order for us today?
So I ordered for us Luzzi's Hibernia Inn's Shrimp Angela, which is a shrimp. It's similar to a franchise, however, it's got a little red sauce in it and a touch of cream, and obviously some peas for garnish.
Right.
My favorite dish of any restaurant.
It looks amazing, and we have a side of asparagus as well, and also they brought a side of ziti, made the same way. This looks fantastic. Let's take a quick bite.
All right.
Wow, you could taste the hint of the wine. This is actually fantastic. The shrimp is cooked perfectly. I love the addition of the peas. Wow, this is delicious.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, very good. I'm going to take some asparagus. And why don't you give the audience a little taste of your career? Where did it all begin?
So my career began, pardon me, back in 1995. I started actually as a dispatcher in Denville Police Department.
Okay.
I was there for a short time, about 6 months or so, before I went to the police academy. I went to the police academy as a sponsor through Parsippany. They put me through when I paid my way kind of thing. It's like a part-time, they call it special, part-time cop. Lo and behold, I was taking civil service exams, and I got hired full-time by Rockaway Township. Sorry for the long dissertation.
That's okay.
I was in Rockaway Township for about 3 years, close to 4, and I transferred back down. My number came up to go back to Parsippany as a full-time officer.
Okay.
So from 2001 until my retirement in 2020, I was in Parsippany full-time.
Okay. And during your career, you retired as a lieutenant. So just give me a little bit of history of your career and when you got promoted and any other specialties you had.
So again, 2001, I started as a patrolman. In 2009, after taking the sergeant's exam, I was promoted to sergeant. My whole career was in patrol.
Okay.
In 2015, I was promoted to patrol lieutenant, where I was the watch commander for a patrol section. Working steady midnights, steady nights for 90% of my career.
Oh man, that's not easy.
I
enjoyed it though?
I really did.
Okay.
I liked the idea of not having to wake up to an alarm. You can kind of get through your day doing things that while everybody else is at work. So the bank, the post office, anything you might need, kind of errands you have to run. Okay. You're really not fighting any big crowds. So I always like to work in midnights.
And I know it's a little easier on the body working steady shifts than rotating.
Right.
So that's I know a lot of departments had gone to that instead of rotating. I rotated for a long time every week, and it was rough.
Yeah, we rotated in Rockaway Township. It was a long rotation, so it was a 6 week night, 6 week days. Okay. But still, the steady shifts were always great.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So why did you choose law enforcement?
You know, I always had an interest in it. I guess it's in the family gene, so to speak. My father was a police officer.
Okay.
My uncle was a police officer. He's actually the sheriff of Morris County. So I don't like the term that it's in our blood, but when you're raised around an environment, plumbers' kids become plumbers' have kids that become plumbers.
Yes.
Firefighters have firefighters. Cops have cops.
Yes.
Obviously there's outliers. You go into a different field, but law enforcement always seemed to be kind of something that sounded interesting. I wasn't committed to it until later on, like right around the time I was graduating high school and looking at my options, and it just sounded like something fun and something exciting.
Yeah, cool. You actually answered my second question, which was if you followed any family members in law enforcement, and your family was involved in law enforcement.
Yeah, it's funny because and I think we've talked about this before, and I'm very open about talking about this. My father was a cop. However, he passed away, actually committed suicide, and he was a cop in Parsippany. My mother was not really on board with the idea of me becoming a police officer. Okay. She was worried about just certain stresses that the job can bring. Yeah. Not even the job, but it's the ancillary things to the job.
Yes, yeah.
For instance, at that time they were working 3 shifts, 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. So when you get off at 11 o'clock at night, it's easy to go out with the guys, grab a drink, and you start kind of like getting into some bad habits. Yeah. And I think that's what she really was concerned about. Especially at that age. My father was hired at 21 years old. It's easy to get sucked up into that kind of lifestyle.
Right.
And I think I was 25 when I got hired as a cop. So, it's easy to get sucked in. However, that's when they started changing the schedules. We started working 12-hour shifts. We weren't really getting out that late. So it was either you're working 7 at night to 7 in the morning or whatever. And Parsippany, I always worked till 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning. So my point is the opportunity really to present itself as often.
Right.
So yeah, she had her concerns, but nothing that she was like steadfast, like absolutely not, you can't do this.
Right. So I didn't realize that your dad was also a Parsippany cop. So you actually followed in his footsteps as far as same town.
I sure did.
Okay. All right. And I'm very sorry to hear about that.
No, this isn't. Yeah. Please, this is not.
No, I know, but
I'm very comfortable talking about it. So yeah, all right. I didn't mean to draw.
No, it's okay. It's okay. How do you feel about the current state of law enforcement right now?
I think it ebbs and flows like anything else. I think we're coming out of a very dark time. We all know after 9/11, everybody was very pro-cop. The political climate kind of unfortunately can dictate the sentiment towards law enforcement.
That's for sure.
The media does us no favors. Again, which all cops talk about. You could have,
no, absolutely.
100 cops doing the right, 1,000 cops doing the right thing. When one guy screws up, it becomes headlines, and the media gets a hold of it, and it becomes, all cops are bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do think we're coming out of it. I think most people understand. Most.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's, once that ship steers, it's really hard to steer it back.
Yeah, no, I agree. If there was one law that you could change, what would it be?
John, I'd have to say I was not a proponent of legalizing marijuana. I'm not trying to sound, prudish about it. I understand. I think they could have decriminalized it, maybe make it like a ticket.
Right.
In New Jersey, it's a full custody arrest. Right. You get somebody marijuana, well, it was.
It was, right.
Full custody, bring them in, fingerprint, photo. I'm not saying we had to go to that extreme. Right. But maybe it would have been just kind of a little bit more prudent to maybe, here's your ticket, come to court.
Like a motor vehicle summons, just a simple summons.
Exactly.
Let them pay a fine and be done with it. Yeah, no, I agree. If you were 21 again, would you, at this day and age, would you go into law enforcement?
I've heard some of your guests say on other episodes, be firemen.
Right.
There's a ton of cops wanting to be firemen. There's no firemen that want to be cops.
That is a true story.
However, if my mind was set on it like it was when I was 21, I would.
Okay.
Because it's a 25-year career at least. Nowadays, I think it's 30.
Yes, 30, I think.
So you better like what you do. You better be passionate about what you do, more importantly.
Right.
You may hate your day. You may love your day. But if you have that passion that keeps you coming back, that'll keep your mind right.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree.
You'll be trapped inside of something, an occupation you don't want to do.
Yeah, it's a very fulfilling career.
Certainly.
So, if a young man or woman came to you and tells you they want to be a police officer, would you try to talk them out of it? Would you support them? What advice would you give to them?
It's funny you mention that. My niece is in her last year of college, and she wants to become a police officer.
Really?
I had my concerns, but she's got her head on right. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she wants to do. She will have, God willing, her degree this spring, to where if after a couple of years she decides she doesn't want to do it, she'll be young enough and she'll have the degree, she can go into a different industry. Right. She won't be so locked. So, and she's stubborn like the rest of us, so there's no talking her out of it.
Right.
So I certainly give her my blessing, and hopefully can give her some tips along the way, just to not pick up some bad habits.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Sometimes we have a tendency to get involved in.
Yes, absolutely we do. What's one thing that you miss the most about the job? If there's any.
There is. What's the saying? You miss the clowns, you don't miss the circus.
That's exactly. Yep, that is the saying.
So that there is something you said for that, but I'm not going to lie. I'm driving down the highway and I see a PD car going code 3 somewhere. There's something that gets my juices flowing. I say, man, I'd love to do that one more time.
Right.
You know, because that's those crimes in progress or
Yep.
a fight or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Going code 3 and the adrenaline's pumping.
Yep.
That's it's a great feeling.
It is a
and
great feeling.
That's what I do miss.
Okay. All right. Yeah, listen, they go into those calls, like you said, your adrenaline pumps. It's fun. You wanna whether it's going to help someone or break up a fight or going to arrest someone. That's what you signed up for, and those were fun calls. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If Hollywood came to you and Dan, we're going to make a movie about you, what would the title be called?
That's a really great question. Years ago, I forget what we were talking about at work, and I made a suggestion, and one of my supervisors had made a comment like, well, that's out in left field, or something to that effect, something that was so unorthodox or unheard of. And my other supervisor said, well, if he's out in left field, he's out in left field with a Golden Glove. And that was probably one of the nicest compliments in my career. So my movie title would be Out in Left Field with a Golden Glove.
I love that. I love that. That's a good title. Do you have a favorite memory in your whole career?
Job related? It's tough to narrow down. I would probably coincide it with what I'm most proud of, which would be delivering a baby.
Okay, that is one of my questions. What are you most proud of? So we'll go into that.
Certainly. I remember being in the academy and going over it with first aid and CPR, all those things that have to do with first aid responses. And when they talked about childbirth, I was, I really hope I get the opportunity. I'd really love to. And I had the opportunity, and it was
That's great.
It was
you are actually you're my 6th episode, and out of 6 interviews, you're the 3rd person that that delivered a baby.
It's a very profound experience.
I'm sure. I've never had the experience, but I didn't realize, and I worked with 2 of the guys too, but I didn't realize how the possibility of you going on a call where a baby's delivered. I didn't think it actually even happened very often. But
Emily Chan, it was 2003.
Okay.
Emily Chan.
You remember?
I remember her name,
that's
because they sent us, me and my partner, they sent us a box of Omaha steaks, one each, which was really very thoughtful.
Yeah, that's nice.
It was great.
Nice. What about what's like one of the most outlandish or craziest or funniest, or something that just like there's no way this actually happened?
Okay, so outlandish. There was one call in particular. So we have a thing in Parsippany that's it's called Chiller Theater. It's a convention of sorts, almost like a Comic-Con.
Okay.
If you're familiar with Comic-Con. Yep. These B-list celebrities get together and they, guests come and they get their autograph or their picture taken with their favorite celebrities from years ago. It's not A-listers. It's, I hate to say has-beens because they're certainly talented but they're holding on to their glory days.
Yep.
So the Parsippany Hilton hosted it this one particular year, and I forget they do it twice a year, October and April. Well, I forget which one, but it was unseasonably cold. Pardon the long story. I've got to give you the details. It was a rainy night, unseasonably cold, and it's like Lou Ferrigno was there, Ponch and John from the Shapes, like that kind of.
That's great.
That kind of celebrity. And we got a call to respond to Parsippany Hilton during Chiller Theater for a gas leak. So, this could be a nightmare. So the guys go down. I certainly head down because it can escalate to be, you got evacuations possibly.
It's a lot of people.
Like that. So sure enough, the Hilton Hotel decides to evacuate people. Now this is after the convention itself was done, but it's nighttime. People are in bed.
Right.
It's probably about 11:30 at night. So people are coming down in their nightgowns. Celebrities are coming down in their nightgowns, their pajamas, slippers.
That's great.
Well, lo and behold, during this, now we're going to call it the New Jersey Natural Gas has to come out. The fire department's going to come out on standby. All sorts of other agencies are coming out. So it's going to be a little while.
Yeah.
Well, in the middle of all this, a bomb scare comes in. Well, now it just escalates, and it's just like like, are you kidding me?
Holy
Are you
cow.
kidding me? So it turns into, we've got these celebrities out in like pajamas, literally nightgowns.
And it's freezing out.
We got to bus them over to the PAO building to keep warm. So we've got, like, they're sitting in school buses. We're busing the other side of town. It's going to be a couple of hours. Got the canine out. The bomb squad's out.
My
It's
goodness.
a nightmare. We actually got it wrapped up within a couple of hours. And we bust them all back. And I'm holding the door as these celebrities and other guests of the hotel are coming in. And who stops to thank me but Loretta Swit.
Really?
Who played Hot Lips
Houlihan
and MASH.
Oh my
who
God,
was,
that's
I think,
great.
the crush of all of ours
Yeah.
back in the 70s and 80s.
Oh my goodness.
And she grabbed me and she said, I have to thank you so much for keeping us safe, whatever it was. She was so humble and appreciative. And she gave me a big hug.
Oh, that's
and it
great.
was such a fun moment.
Yeah, that's a great
she was
memory.
an absolute sweetheart. God rest her soul. She just passed last year, or last spring.
Yeah. All right. So, what was like the worst call you've ever been on?
You know, there's bad as far as, I mean, I don't know how far we're going to go with this to our audience. I'm sure you've seen some pretty bad stuff.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I had a 16-year-old kid hang himself over a bad grade. That was tough. A couple of bad car accidents, young kids.
Yeah.
The one that probably stands out, I had a childhood friend lose his nephew to an overdose.
Okay.
And we got the call for the address. I headed over there not realizing it was my friend's nephew.
Right.
When I got there, I saw my friend. I mean, I've known this kid since we were 12 years old. And he's in the middle of the street screaming. And I run inside the house, and sure enough, his nephew was early 20s. He had overdosed on heroin.
Hey.
And when I came out, he was in tears. Like he had that last bit of hope. Like, is he all right? Is he all right?
Right.
I'm
And
sorry.
you had to say no.
You know? And I remember getting hired, because I was born and raised in Parsippany, became a Parsippany cop, like them talking about you have the possibility of dealing with people that you were born and raised with.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to see friends, whether it's a traffic stop, whether it's a call you go on. First of all, everything's confidential. You can't be telling your other friends that you saw these people. And you're going to have to make some tough decisions when it comes to that relationship.
Yep.
And for the most part, I did okay. I skated pretty easily.
Right.
But that call in particular, it was pretty upsetting.
Yeah, no, that's tough, especially when it's someone you know so well.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Lyndhurst, and that's where I was an officer too. So similar situations where you had to deal with things that you knew people.
Right.
Yeah, that's tough. That puts another level of intimacy there. What was the most dangerous call you've ever been on?
I worked in Parsippany, right? So it's a suburb of Morris County. It's not a South Bronx by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
So I've never been in a gunfight, thank God.
Right, thank God.
The most dangerous, or at least the time I really thought, oh my God, this could be the time. We had a guy that was high on bath salts, MDMA, and he had stabbed his girlfriend and his girlfriend's mother. We got down to the apartments where he lived, and they were both outside the apartment. They were conscious and alert. Gave us the apartment he was in. Went to the apartment, doors locked. I had 3 guys with me, so a 4-man team kicked the door in. I was the lead man going in, and the apartment was, if I can say, there wasn't a dry spot on the floor. It was full. It was like a slaughterhouse.
Oh my God.
So we're walking through the, it's apartment living, so it's, dining room and living room mixed, kitchen off to the left, and we're going down the hallway. There's a bedroom on the left, bedroom on the right, bathroom in front of me. And it's kind of like you get into that, not that fatal funnel, but you become like, all right, like, which way is this coming?
Yeah.
I've got my gun out, obviously, and I turn the corner, and this guy is like on his knees, and it looked like some sort of ritualistic like sacrifice. He was on his knees, his back, he was
Arching
up
his
on his
back?
knees, arching his back, and his hands, his wrists were cut to the bone on either side, and he cut his neck from ear to ear.
Oof.
And it was scary.
That's a freaky, scary
And
call.
I'm like, don't you
Right.
move. And he had it was like a dagger, like an old dagger about this long, very ornate handle and stuff like that. And he's hovering his hand over this knife. I thought it was going to be like a suicide by cop. That's what I'm thinking. Fortunately, I said to the guy behind me, by this time, the whole cavalry shows up.
Sure.
I said, go to the kitchen, see if we can find a broom or a mop. So one of the guys goes, and we try to sweep the knife away from the guy so we can kind of get on top of him, secure him. Well, one of the guys takes the broom and tries to sweep it. The guy grabs the broom, pulls him in.
Oh, jeez.
Now we're pulling it back as a tug of war over one of our guys. We finally pull. The guy comes with it, cuff him up, goes to the hospital. And the crazy thing, prosecutor's office notifies me a few weeks later, the daughter pardon me, the girlfriend and her mother refused to press charges. So we charged him, I mean, we loaded him up.
Yeah,
Assault, possession of
absolutely.
weapon for unlawful purpose, criminal attempt murder. Like
Sure.
we really, and we couldn't pursue any of it. And I called the prosecutor's office on it. I was really upset
Yeah.
about it. And they were like, what are we going to have, a hostile witness? They're not going to testify against him.
I know. You always hear that thing, no victim, no crime. But I mean, that's absolutely crazy.
I mean, this guy, he was dangerous.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So that was probably the time I thought, oh man, this is.
Oh yeah,
this
no,
is the time.
that's an intense call, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. All right, well, that concludes like our career questions, but we're gonna move on to some fun questions. All right.
Yeah.
What is your favorite cop movie?
There's a lot of good ones.
Yes.
I'd go with Colors with Sean Penn and
Sean
Robert Duvall.
Penn. That's yeah. I haven't seen. I saw that one time. I haven't seen it in a long time, but yeah, that was good.
It's a great gang movie, but more importantly, I really like the police culture they get involved
Okay.
in. You've got Hodges, Robert Duvall,
Right.
this old veteran.
Yep.
He's teaching the new guy who's
Yeah.
full of piss and vinegar, pardon the expression.
Yeah.
His leather is shine,
Yeah.
his uniform looks just right, he's got the sunglasses, the hair,
Yep.
and Duvall's is kind of this salty old,
old grumpy guy.
detective, like, hey, calm down, you know,
Yeah.
he wants to lock up the world, and Hodges is like, relax.
take
you
it
know,
easy,
you
buddy.
catch more flies with honey, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's by
All
far
right, good,
my favorite.
good. What about who's your favorite New Jersey actor?
It's got to be Nicholson. Jack
Okay.
Nicholson, 100%.
All right, very good. What about your favorite New Jersey musician?
Is there any other answer than Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons?
I'm glad you said that. No, Frankie Valli, Four Seasons, fantastic. My father was a big fan of them, and listened to them growing up as a kid, and they're one of my favorites as well.
I saw Jersey Boys 4 times.
Oh, did you? What about your coffee? How do you take your coffee?
Cream and 1 Splenda.
Okay.
I'm trying to get rid of the
Trying away from
Splenda.
it. Okay.
Apparently it's not very good for you.
Yeah, it's not. It's actually not. A sugar, I actually think, maybe a little bit better for you. What about your favorite alcoholic beverage?
I really enjoy a nice Angel's Envy bourbon Manhattan.
Okay. Neat on Manhattan or
Yeah, up.
okay up.
Yeah. I prefer it in rocks glass, especially at restaurants. The martini glass can be tough to kind of for
Yeah.
the waitress to walk it over.
Yep.
So I'll say Manhattan up.
Okay.
But in a rocks glass.
Okay.
So that's my drink.
What about the most famous person you ever met? Now you mentioned it, Loretta.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? Is she the most famous, or is there anyone else?
Well, that
list?
whole, because I met a ton
You
of
met a
them
ton of
during these
people.
conventions.
Right.
I've never had the chance running with a celebrity. It's always been at like these conventions.
Okay.
So like Corey Feldman,
Okay.
Ralph Macchio from The Karate Kid.
Great.
Again, Eric Estrada and
Punch.
Eric
Punch
Estrada and
John. I
Larry
forgot.
Wilcox.
Okay, yeah, I forgot his name.
Yeah, who's more famous than in that hierarchy?
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's pretty much where
Okay.
I
All right.
go.
Do you have is there a famous crush? Some famous person that you've always crushed on?
Ava Mendez, without question.
Okay, good choice. Good choice.
she's gorgeous.
Yeah. And the final question of our interview here is it tail of ham or pork roll?
Taylor Ham, come
Right.
on.
Well, we are 6 for 6 on Jersey's Finest Foodies with tail of ham. We're a little biased because we are from North Jersey here, so
Right.
we'll see what happens when they go down south. That basically concludes our interview, Danny. I appreciate, listen, great stories. I love them all.
Appreciate that.
And I want to thank Rosemary from the Hibernia Inn, 439 Green Pond Road, Rockaway, New Jersey. Come see Rosemary. Order the shrimp Angela, the steamed asparagus. It is absolutely out of this world. Or a glass of wine as well. We will see you next time on Jersey's Finest Foodies. All right, this is really so good. I've never had shrimp prepared like this.
Yeah, it's different. I can't find it anywhere else. You know.
So good. So what are you doing now, Dan? You've been retired.
So I started working. I took some time off, about 6 months after I retired, kind of decompress. Then I went to work for a buddy of mine, sales, part-time, nothing through COVID. A lot of people were doing home renovations, so he had a window and door business. So I was working for him in sales, and this opportunity popped up, this selling school buses. The company's based out of Flanders, so I go to the office once a week, and it's it's a fun job. It's something completely different. I have normal relationships with my colleagues and my customers.
Yeah.
You know, you can knock on a school door to say hello, and you're not going to worry. You know, bladed stances and all that. It's so it's a real nice change of pace.
That's cool. That's really
from law enforcement.
That's great. That's a really cool job, actually. I would never even think about like being like a bus salesman.
That's
great.
not even a thing.
It is right.
I thought the same thing when I heard about it.
Very good.
Crazy.
Very good. That's awesome. I'm happy for you.